Sir, Videsh is not joining. He's not
Sorry?
feeling well today.
Okay, then fine. We'll continue.
Mm.
Yeah. Any questions from the previous? Any questions? Deepthi, Mohan, Lata, and Sushma from the previous topics.
No, Prasad, not from me. I was
Okay then.
practicing this SQL thing. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay,
There
and
was something static connection and dynamic connection. I think you
yeah, I
forgot to
will.
explain that.
Yeah, yeah, I will explain. So when this concept comes, right? So I haven't forgotten. So you can see here the parameterization concept. So at that time, I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Okay, so we can pass the connection values and static and dynamic. We can change the connection values by using the parameter file. Okay, and yeah, so we'll start. In today's class, we are going to learn about the indirect loading of the flat file. Okay, so till now, whenever we are using any flat file, whenever you're using any flat file, whenever using any flat file, we are directly passing the flat file name. Okay, so if you see the previous examples, so you see the previous examples, uh, yeah, not this one. Okay. Whenever you are using any flat file in our mapping, so we are directly passing the file name. We are directly passing the file name. So under sources, if you see the source file type, we are selecting the option direct, okay, and we are directly passing the file name. So which file needs to be loaded, we are directly passing that file name. So in the source file type, we have two options. One is direct and another one is indirect. So till now we have seen the direct option, and now we are going to see the indirect loading. We are going to see the indirect loading. So what is this indirect loading? What is this indirect loading? So we have, so till now we are loading only one file. Till now we are loading only one file. Now let us assume that we have three files. We have three files of, 1 second, let me check. Yeah, okay. So I have created three files. You can see here the 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So in each file, the respective department number values are there. You can see here this file consists of the employee information, which belongs to department number 10, and then this department number, in this EMP underscore department number 20, we have the employees, which belongs to department number 20, and in the department number 30 we have the 30 records. Okay, so 10, 20, and 30 department records. And now I want to load all these three files at a time. So I want to load all these three files at a time. So with the direct option, it is not possible. With the direct option, it is not possible. So for that, I'm going to use the option, the indirect file load option. So what is this indirect file load? That means when you are selecting the indirect file load, we can pass the list of files to be loaded by using the list file, Okay, so this should have, that means just a minute. So the list file will have the information. Copy. Okay, so the list file will have the information of all the source where these are located. It can be located in another folders or in any other path. We should give the total information where these three files are located in the list file. Okay, so I have mentioned the 10, 20, and 30 departments are located in these paths. Now I will use this list file for the indirect loading. So this list file consists of the three paths of these three files. Now by using the indirect load option, I can load the multiple files at a time. So one thing you need to remember here is the structure of three files should be same. The structure of three files should be same. That means it should match with the source structure. If you have any additional columns or any additional things, then it will fail the session. Okay, so all these three file structure should be same. I will go close all these three files and let me create one dummy mapping. Just a minute. Mapping, create m underscore indirect file load, indirect file load. Okay, save it. I will take one delimiter employee delimiter file, and I will take one expression transformation, select all, and I'm going to connect to this. And next I will take one table. So here we need to convert the hire date. Here we need to convert the hire date. So this one is row underscore hire date, and this one is date. Make this as an input port, and this one as the hire date, and this one I'm going to make the conversion to date of hire date, and this is dd hyphen month hyphen y. Okay, this is the format. Okay, select OK and save. Now I will connect all these columns to the target, and hire date and salary and commission to the target. Save it and arrange all. Okay, so now for this source file I'm going to use the indirect file load option, and I'm going to pass on the 10, 20 and 30 departments respectively to this source file by using the list file. Okay, so let me create a workflow for this. So workflow, create and wf underscore the indirect file load, tasks, create yes underscore the indirect file load option. So indirect file load, done, and I will link this and save it, and here I will pass, instead of direct, here I'm going to change the option as indirect. I'm going to change the option as indirect, and which file directory? This list file is existing in the same source file directory itself. And what is the list file name? So this is the list file name, and I'm going to pass that list file name and apply. Okay, save it. And we forgot to pass the target connection. Let me pass the target connection as well. So this one is the target, this one is normal, and truncate and reload. Save it and start workflow. Okay, and it has loaded. Just a minute. Okay, and you can see it has loaded 11 records. Okay, so why? Because why it has loaded 11 record means, so actually we have 14 records altogether. So in the at the starting of the starting class, the first class, we have created this emp underscore delimiter. If you see the properties of this source, we are using this option, number of initial rows to skip, because at the starting of the class we have imported the field names on the first lines, right? So it is going to skip that initial row. So that's the reason it is loading only, that means total are 14 records in the EMP table, and from each table it is skipping one record, the starting record. Okay, that's the reason it has loaded 11 records. Anyhow, okay, so now it has loaded the 11 records to the target. So second, so select start from EMP. Okay, so it has loaded the 11 records from each file. From each file it has picked up the records, and it has loaded the data to the target. If you see the session log, if you open the session log, and you can clearly see it will, the information you can see, reading the input field names from the indirect file load option. Whatever the files that which are going to pass in this list file, that will be loaded. And you can, if you scroll down, and you can see the first file it has readed, and second file and the third file. You can see it has keeping the first row. Why? Because we have enabled that option. Okay. So, and it has loaded all the three records to the, all the three files to the target. Okay. So this is the indirect file loading. So whenever you are passing, that means when you are trying to load the multiple files, the file structure should match with the source structure, or else it will fail the session. Okay. So understood the concept of indirect file loading, everyone? Any questions so far? Okay. So the question should be, I will ask myself. So the question should be, so here, okay, Prasad, you said that we are going to create a list file. That's fine. So here we have only three files. And what would be the case if you have some 100 files? Do we are going to create the list file for each and every file that is there in the source file directory? Are we going to create that means if we have 100 files, are we going to create it manually for each and every record?
No, I think I will put everything in one folder and give the path of that folder there.
How? Sorry, come again.
I will put all the files in particular folder and give that folder name to that list file.
Folder here. Will it accept?
No, not like that.
Then yeah, okay, tell me.
I mean all these department, like suppose 10 to 100, all the files, put it in one file, in one folder, and then give the name of that path into that list file.
Just only will list you're saying,
Huh.
just the path.
Yes, so
It
just
won't.
give here that folder name, and then in that particular folder put all the file name, the files there.
All the files here, file names here, or only
No,
path? Only path?
only path, only one path, and in that particular path, suppose in the source files, put all the files there, the source files, and
Yeah,
then just
yeah, yeah. We have kept it all the source in this path, and we have
hmm,
just given the source files. Okay, just I will run
yes.
this now.
Mm-hmm.
Start workflow. It will fail.
No.
Okay. So any other approaches from remaining? No one? Okay, for this, in Unix, okay, so in Unix commands, what we're going to, in Unix, what we're going to do is, so we have a syntax, we have a command called ls, okay, so what this ls will do is, it is going to list all the files, okay, let me take a new window, so ls, this ls is going to list all the files that are available in the source file directory. So the syntax for finding the files is I'm going to find out all the files that are present in this directory. So first of all, ls is the command to find out all the files that are present in this source file directory. Okay, this is my directory. In this directory, I want to find out the files which are in this pattern. I'm going to keep it as star. Okay, I'm going to keep it as star, and it's going to search for all the files. That means it can be 10, 20, 30, 40, or it can be anything. Okay, it is going to search for all this kind of patterns, and we can create one file. It's going to, first of all, it will find out the list of files with this command, and it is going to append to this file. Okay, so where we are going to create this file, I'm going to create the file in the same directory, emp.lis, emp.lis. ls. Okay, so with this ls is the command to find out if you type ls. Okay, let us say that if I say this ls in the directory, first of all I need to go to this directory in Unix. I need to go to this directory, and if I type ls, it is going to show all the list of files that are available in this directory. If you want to search for a particular pattern, then emp, if you give emp underscore department star, it will find out, it will show you all the files with this pattern. That means the star means it can be anything. Emp underscore department, after emp underscore department, it can be any files. Okay, any name, 10, 20 or .8, it can be anything. Okay, so now by using this option, I'm going to create a list file. I'm going to create a list file, but this is for the Unix, and what is for the Windows operating system? Okay, so for the Windows, the command is, the entire command is same, just only the difference is, here we are going to add dir/b. Okay, so it is a DOS command. Okay, it is a DOS command. So it will search for all the files with this pattern, and it will create one list file with this pattern. So now, so okay, we are where to write this command? Where to write this command? Similarly, we have seen pre-SQL and post-SQL. In the same way, we have a pre-command and post commands. We have pre-command and post commands. In this post command, you can see, just double click on the session, go to components, and here we can see the pre-session command. So if you want to execute any command before the execution of session, we can write the commands over here, the pre-session command, and I'm going to select this as non-reusable. Okay, we haven't seen reusable and non-reusable. Next we are going to see what is the non-reusable and reusable. For the time being, I'm selecting this as a non-reusable, and here it is going to be highlighted, and in this we are going to write the command. Okay, here you can add the command, add a new command. So this one is the command. Just click on the editor and just paste it. dir/b, the same command I have pasted. So it is going to, first of all, it is going to search for all the files that are available with this pattern, and that with the list of file, it is going to, with the result, it is going to create a list file. Sorry. Save it. Now what I will do is I am going to delete this file. Okay, save it, and now I will run this workflow. Start workflow. It has succeeded. It has succeeded, and if you go back to the source file directory, it has created the list file. It has created the list file. You can see it has created a list of files. Okay, here it is creating on the same directory. We are going to search it from the same directory. It will search from the same directory, the list file. Okay, this is how we are going to create the list files when we want to load a multiple files at a time by using the indirect file load option. Okay, we need to identify the pattern, and you need to give the same, you need to search for the pattern, then you need to append that list of files to the list file, and then we are going to load the data, and we need to give the command in the pre-session command. In this pre-session command, you need to give the syntax command here. Okay, so this will be executed before starting of the session, and that means the list file will be created first, then the session execution will be started, and it is going to search for this emp.lis, and it is going to load the data. Understood, everyone? Any questions about the list file creation and indirect file loading? Yes.
And suppose the patterns are different. We like you did the star, right? So what
Yes,
we'll do,
yes.
like we'll make the blocks and then do the, or what?
No. So see, most of the times, Deepthi, so when we are designing, when we are creating any data warehouse architecture or data warehouse modeling, so in general, so the files will be like this. Let us assume that we have the EMP table, right? So there won't be a case as such case, because so when they design the data model itself, so here we are receiving the files for employee. So every day we are going to receive the files based upon the date, okay, 2016, the date will be appended. So in most of the project, this will be the format for the files. The file name appended with the date. Okay, so today's date we're going to have file. Okay, every day we are going to receive the files and the date will be changing, and this pattern remains the same, the actual file name. Okay, let us say it is some applications. Let us say that it is transactions. Okay, so this will be auto transactions. Okay, so this will be the file name. Okay, so just we are going to search for the pattern auto transaction dot dat. Okay, so you're going to find out all the files with the for the auto transactions, and we are going to create a list of files. And so everything will be taken into the consideration while creating the data model. Okay, how the file name should be there and how you are going to generate the files, everything will be taken care at the time of creating the data architecture, data warehousing architecture and data model. Everything will be taken care. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in general, in any project, this would be the pattern, the file name and the date on which you're receiving the files. Okay.
Yes, like in my current project, I work for
Yes.
Citibank. So in that one, like they have the all countries which has a Citibank
Okay.
work office there. So what currently they're doing, they're consolidating the data from all the
Mm-hmm.
countries. So we are getting the files with the country name and the date. So, but
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
getting the different country file. So in that sense, the countries are also changing, right? So in that
Yes.
one, like how we are going to do that? That's what I wanted to
Okay.
ask.
Okay. So for the country, is the source structure is same?
No.
Okay, okay. So, so this is an bit advanced topic. I will explain, but I will explain. Okay. So in Unix shell scripting, what we can do is, we can search for all the patterns. Okay. So in the same way how I shown you, right? So let us say that the country is US. Okay. I can search for all the patterns, US and UK, and let us say that India. Okay, we have some scripts to identify the files, and with the all files I'm going to create a list file. I'm going to find out all these patterns with this pattern. So if it is there in the target with this pattern, so I'm going to find out all this list of files, and then I can create a list of files. It's an advanced topic in the Unix shell scripting. We have the scripts to identify such scenarios.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I will show you if possible how we are going to find out how you're going to see or search for the particular patterns. I will show you the script. I have a script. Okay, so in the next class or day after tomorrow, I will show you. So this is about the list file. So everyone, Sushma and Mohanlata, have you got it? Have you understood this option, the list file generation?
Sir, I actually lost access to voice in the middle, so I couldn't follow. I'll ask you if you have any doubts tomorrow.
Sorry, ఏంటండి చెప్పండి మళ్ళీ నాకు తర్వాత
ఏం లేదు,
అడుగుతారా?
యాక్చువల్లీ నాకు ఆడియో వినిపించలేదు మధ్యలో, సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టు క్లోజ్ చేసి మళ్ళీ లాగిన్ అయ్యాను. ఆ మధ్యలో ఐ మిస్డ్ ఇట్.
ఓకే, ఒకసారి వీడియో చూడండి. స్టిల్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్, ఓకే నేను చెప్తాను మీకు. Yeah. So that is the indirect file loading. Okay. So next we are going to see the user-defined function. So till now we are using the existing functions. What are the functions? So far we have used. So there are so many functions. These are existing functions which has predefined functions. These are in Informatica. Okay. So similarly, we have the user-defined functions concept in which the user will create the functions. The user will create the functions. So user-defined functions are nothing but the functions which are defined by the user for implementing the complex logics, So user-defined functions. So till now we have seen so many times from the starting, whenever we are loading the hire date, whenever you are loading the hire date, what we are doing, whenever we are trying to load the hire date into the table, what we're trying to do?
Converting into the date, like it's always in integer form or string form, so we have to convert it to the date.
Yeah. So every time we are using this, we have used the same logic across multiple mappings, right? But it's almost like 5 to 6 mappings. We are using the same concept. That means we are using the same logic across different mappings. So to avoid such cases, okay, to instead of implementing the same logic again and again across multiple mappings, we can create one user-defined function for this functionality, and we can use this across multiple mappings. Okay, we can create a one user-defined function for the same logic, and we can use that user-defined function instead of writing the same entire logic. We can use that user-defined function, and we can achieve the same logic by using that user-defined function. And I'm going to explain what is the how to create the user-defined function and what are the types of user-defined functions that are available. And again, in the user-defined functions, we have private and public functions. Private and public functions. Private user-defined functions and public user-defined functions. So the public are nothing but in general regular one user-defined functions, UDF functions. So what are the functions which you create? Those are called user-defined functions. Let us say if you want to use one more user-defined function inside the UDF function, that means inside another UDF function, I want to use one more UDF function. So if you want to use, if there is as such scenario, we can use only the private UDF function. We cannot use the public UDF function inside a UDF function. Okay, if you want to use a multiple UDF function, that means nested UDF functions, we can use only the private UDF function. Okay, we need to create one private UDF function, and that can be used inside another UDF function. Okay, these are the two types of functions. One is a public and another one is a private. Okay, let's see how to create the user-defined function and how we are going to use this. So here on the left hand side, the user-defined function, just right click here, and here I'm going to say it as new, and this one I'm going to give the name as date. Okay, date conversion, and this one I'm going to name it as public. Here we need to select one argument. Okay, so here the arguments are nothing but the columns. Here for the hire date conversion, how many columns are required? Only one column. Okay, that means based upon the hire date, we are going to convert. We are converting the hire date which are receiving from the source to a date format. Okay, so here I'm going to create only one argument. Okay, so date. Okay, this is nothing but the input value. Okay, date, and the length of the string is 9. Every time we are receiving the hire date as string. Okay, so we have created one argument that is nothing but how many columns that which you are using in the conversion. So the launch editor, and here I'm going to write the same conversion 2 underscore date, the conversion here, the argument, the date, which format it is, dd hyphen month hyphen yy. Save it. Just a second. Yeah, so we have created one user-defined function. Let me save this. Okay, so now we have one second, just to show you one more time. So we have given the name date underscore conversion, and we have selected this as a public based upon the number of columns. So here to implement this logic, we require only one column, so that's the reason I have created one argument, and in this we are going to write the same logic that which you have implemented here. Okay, so this will create one user-defined function. So now instead of writing this entire code, instead of writing this to date or fire date entire thing. So I can use this user defined function in this expression transformation. Just expand this and just date conversion and click the hire date. Okay, select OK, and this will implement the same logic. This will implement the same logic, and let me load the data, say fresh and start workflow. It is running and it has loaded 18 records. It will does the same conversion. Okay, so we have created one user defined function. So whenever if you want to do any conversion on hire date, simply we can use this user defined function across multiple mappings. Let us say that I have a requirement, that means in every mapping we are converting, let us assume that the employee name we are converting the first name as the capital letter, the first name as a capital letter. That means we have value king in the source, and every time I'm converting the data like this, the initial letter as a capital and the remaining as small lowercase letters. Uppercase, the starting letter is uppercase and the remaining is a lowercase. Let us assume that how we have converted the hire date. In the same way, we are doing the same conversion across multiple mappings. Okay, so for this one also we can create one user defined function. That means, so I'm going to create one more user defined function here, new, I will say it as initial cap, and this one is a public, and add, and this one as, so we are expecting only one argument, that means only on one column, ename, or it can be string one. Okay, string. Okay. So in the launcher editor, I'm going to use we have a function which converts the initial letter to the uppercase format. Initial cap, this will convert the values. That means whatever the value case you are going to pass to this, you can convert the starting letter, the alphabet, into a uppercase and the remaining into the lowercase. And okay, so this is my user defined function. Now I can use this user defined function in the expression transformation. So now I'm going to convert this employee name by using the user defined function. So this one is an input port and output port, ename. I will use this user defined function. So which one is initial cap of ename. Okay, save it. Let me refresh this, save it, and start working. It has loaded 11 records, and if you see the data, null, what happened? Yeah, we haven't connected this port. Okay, let me save this, let me refresh, save it, and start workflow. Okay, now we will see the data now again. You can see each and every letter has been converted. That means the starting letter you can see as a capital letter. This is how we can create a user defined function if you are implementing the same logic across multiple mappings. So instead of implementing the same logic again and again, we can create one user defined function and we can use across multiple mappings. Just a minute, I will show you which kind of functions we are going to use this. So these are some of the validations which we use in our real time. Okay, so you can see this one is the date validation which we are going to use in our real time. Okay, so this is the column name. Okay, this is the column name. So if the column is coming, if it is a date, first of all what I'm going to do, I'm going to check whether this is a date or not, whether the receiving value we are receiving in this format or not. If you are receiving in this format, then I'm going to convert into this format. If this is true, if this condition is true, then I'm going to convert into this format, or else I'm going to generate the value. This is the date valuation which we are going to do in our real time. So similarly, we are going to check for the string validation. That means if you have null, we are going to do all the validation. That means if you are receiving null or is spaces, then I'm going to generate the value null, or else I'm going to generate ltrim artrim of the source column name. This is the column name. Okay, so let it be. So this is the concept of the user-defined functions. Any questions about the user-defined functions?
Sir, what is this you're saying? I didn't get this if statement.
This one?
Whatever you checked in the first for the date.
Yes.
Date.
Yeah.
It is the same,
This one?
right?
Yeah, if it is a date, first of all, I'm checking whether the receiving value, that means this, from the source value, you're going to receive the values like this. That means 2015, okay, month it's 02 and 05 and date, and hours, the time you are going to check, that means it's 16, and minutes 22 minutes, and seconds, the total length will be 14. Okay, so whether I'm going to check whether we are receiving in this format or not. First of all, we are receiving the same format or not. These are the standard formats which has been defined at the data model level. So we are going to check first of all we are receiving the same format or not. So if it is in this format, then I'm going to convert into this format.
What is it that you're converting? That's what I didn't get. Both whatever
Sorry?
you check here, whatever you
ఏదండి
check here, ఇక్కడ మీరు ఫస్ట్ దాంట్లో చెక్ చేసింది తర్వాత సెకండ్ దాంట్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసింది సేమ్ కదా?
ఇది ఫస్ట్ in this condition I'm checking whether it is date or not.
Oh, okay.
This function is different. It is date. Whether it is date or not, I'm checking first of all. ఈ ఫార్మాట్ లో వీఆర్ రిసీవింగ్ ద వాల్యూ ఆర్ నాట్. లెట్ us say that నాకు ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 2000 ఇక్కడ మంత్ ఉంది కదా, మంత్ ప్లేస్ లో నాకు ఇక్కడ 13 వచ్చింది అనుకోండి. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ కరెక్ట్ డేట్? ఇట్స్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ డేట్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఐఎమ్ చెకింగ్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డేట్ ఆర్ నాట్. సో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డేట్, దెన్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ ద కన్వర్షన్. ఓకే, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు జనరేట్ ద వాల్యూ null. Each date, to date same kaadu. So each date is different and to date is different. Okay, each date will check whether the value we are receiving, that means which format which you are passing, it will check whether it is a date or not. If it is a date, then it's going to convert, or else it's not going to convert to date. Yeah, any other questions? Okay. So next we will see the push-down optimization. We are going to see the push-down optimization. So this I will explain only the critical part. Why? Because the push-down optimization will comes with as an additional add-on package. We won't have the option in our Informatica. That means in Informatica we have 3 levels. That means 3 types of editions. One is a regular one and standard and high-end version. Okay, at that high-end version you are going to get this push-down optimization. I'm not going to show that option. That means that option is not available, but still I will explain the entire theory, what is this push-down optimization is and how you're going to use this and what is the functionality of this push-down optimization. Okay, so let me open this. So this push-down optimization is also called PDO. Okay, so PDO. So what is this PDO? So push-down optimization is if you enable, so similarly how we have enabled yesterday constraint-based loading, we have just checked an option, right? In the same way, we'll have an option called push-down optimization. We need to check that option. Okay, we need to check that option. The code will be enabled with push-down optimization. So what is this push-down optimization? So when you enable the push-down optimization, that means if you're configuring this particular mapping as a PDO, push-down optimization, the entire code, whatever the logic which you implement in your mapping, the entire code will be converted into a SQL query. That means the entire logic, whatever the logic that which you implement in the mapping, it will be converted into a SQL queries. That means, so whatever the, here in this example we are converting the ename into uppercase and higher date, we are doing some conversion. The entire logic will be converted into one select statement, and it's going to fire that select statement. It's going to find that select statement towards the database, that means the source database, and whatever the data which it gets with the select statement, it's going to store in a temporary view, and once that means once it fetches all the information according to our logic from this temporary view, it will load the data at once to the target. So first of all, what it will do, it will convert the entire logic into one select statement. So till here, it will convert the logic into one select statement, and it will convert the data, and it is going to store the data in a view, and it will load the data into the target. Okay. So now, what is the advantage? We are going to get by enabling the PDO? So what is the difference if you enable the PDO or if you're not going to enable the PDO? So with the actual process, that means with the regular mapping, if you try to load the data, that let us say that I'm trying to load the 10 million records, it will take 20 to 30 minutes for loading the data. Okay. So if you enable the PDO, it will take 40 to 60 seconds, just seconds. This much faster it will load the data. So this is the main advantage with the push down optimization. So this is the costliest add-on for the Informatica. Okay, if you want to purchase, this is an additional add-on which you need to buy, and it will comes up with the high-end version of Informatica. Okay, and so I have explained. Okay, so I have enabled the push down optimization. So what are the challenges which you are going to face when you are developing the code, when you are using the push down optimization? So there are so many constraints. That means we cannot use update strategy transformation. We cannot use update strategy transformation. We cannot use variable ports in the mapping, and some of the functions, I don't remember a few functions which are there which give unexpected results. Okay, so these are the things which are going to face the challenges in the push down optimization. Okay, so we cannot use this in the push down optimization. When we are enabling the code with push down optimization, we cannot use this objects in our mapping. If you are using this, then the code will not be enabled with PDO. And how can we know that the code is enabled with the PDO or not? Once you add this, once you have this push down optimization, right? So we will have a preview window in which we can see whether the code has been enabled with the PDO or not. So in this PDO viewer, we can see whether the entire code is enabled with the push down optimization or not. That means, so when we do the preview, in the step by step we can see the preview. That means how it is converting and the entire code into the select statements. Okay, in a black color, okay. So whenever, let us assume that the black color select statement. So whenever, let us assume that in this expression transformation we have used the variable port. So at that particular point, it will show it in the red color. stating that you're going to get a message at the end of the statements. You're going to get a message that at this particular point the push down optimization is breaking. Okay, and so the code will not be enabled with the PDO. Okay, so once we develop the code, we can do the preview, and we can check whether this code has been enabled with the PDO or not. Okay, and again we have three types of push down optimizations: full push down optimization, source push down optimization, and the target. Okay, we have three types of push down optimization. The full push down optimization, it is going to convert. That means it is going to enable the push down optimization for the entire code. And for the source, it is going to fetch the information, whatever the logic, which let us assume that we have written some queries in the override. Okay, we have override some queries in the SQL query, and it is going to fetch the total information. It is going to store that data in temporary view. From there, it is going to process one by one. And similarly, vice versa for the target. If you enable only on target side the push down optimization, the same thing applies towards the target. Okay, so this is about the push down optimization. Okay, so similarly, like just to how we have enabled this option, right? So like this constraint based loading, in the same way we will have the option for push down optimization here. Above this allow temporary, this above we are going to have the push down optimization option. We need to enable the push down optimization. It will enable the PDO. So this is about the push down optimization. So you're going to see once you work in the real time. So most of the times the push down optimization will be used by the banking sectors, banking domain projects they're going to use, because they have huge amount of transactions that has been done across multiple regions, right? So to load such transactions, they are going to use the push down optimization. So any questions so far? This is completely theoretical. I cannot show because it is an additional. I don't have that option in push down optimization. Any questions so far about the PDO?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes. And next, what else we have? Okay, so we are done with this, and okay. Also for today's class, I'm going to explain this reusable tasks. Okay, reusable tasks. Okay, we'll see it in the next class. Okay, so because if I stop it in the middle, it will be like not, it will be incomplete. Okay, I will take it up in the next class. So these are the topics we have covered so far, and we are left with 4 classes. We are left with 4 classes. Okay, maximum it will be done. These 5 topics will be done in 4 classes. Okay. So any questions
And after
or
that,
any?
we are going to Unix as well.
Sorry?
After that, are we
Yeah,
going to have one class for Unix?
yeah, 1 class for Unix. Just the basic commands I'm going to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week we are finishing this course.
Might be on Friday. You're going to finish it up. By Friday morning, you're going to finish it up. Because from Sunday I won't be available. Saturday and Sunday and Monday I won't be available. I will be on vacation. So
Okay.
if you have any queries also, I'm going to reply back on Monday only. Saturday and Sunday and Monday I won't be available.
Okay. Okay. And about the project part, sir, like how we are going to do it? Dummy
I will
projects,
say,
right?
yeah, dummy
You.
project, and first of all, yeah, I will explain one project. Okay, so how it is going to be there in real time, and
Mhm.
I will explain the entire project. The same thing, I'm going to give you a document. Each and everything, how we have sent the document for the PDF, right? So install
Mhm.
Informatica. So in the
Mhm.
same way, I have provided steps in detail, step by step, how to implement this logic. Okay.
Okay.
So you can just take the like this. It will be in detail. No need to worry. If you have been practiced all the transformations, that will be easy, or else you won't understand for sure. So don't open the project until unless you go through all the transformations.
Okay. So next to next week, can we have one session with like all the doubts we can discuss with you?
Yeah, we can have it.
1 hour
Sure.
session problem. Everybody, like, we will get the time to practice as well and do the things.
Okay, fine. Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mohalat గారు చెప్పండి. నేను అడుగుతున్నారా? Okay. So actually, I'm doing some changes to the current dummy project. Okay, so I'm actually creating some additional logics to the existing dummy project. So I think by Monday I'm going to give you the project. Okay, I have the project already, but I'm doing some changes to the existing project. So I will send you by Friday. If you finish it off, then also I'm going to send it on Monday, or Monday end of the day I'm going to send the project. Okay.
Okay, and meanwhile, please send me the resume, the sample resume.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sure. I'll send it. Okay. So I will share it in the same shared. Yes. Yeah?
The resumes.
Yeah, I will share it in the shared drive. The sample resumes, 2 or 3 sample resumes I'm going to send.
Okay.
And if any question answer or any interview questions if you have for the data warehousing, just put it there on the shared drive.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I will send it. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So that's it for today's session, and see you in the tomorrow's class. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Professor.